Before we follow the Pandavas into the forest, we must ask where Krishna had been while they fell. The answer is that grief had found his city too. When word reached Salva that Krishna had killed his friend Shishupala, he gathered a great army and laid siege to Dwaraka. So while one storm broke over the Pandavas, another broke over Krishna's own gates. Krishna was away, so the old king Ugrasena took command of the defense and moved fast and hard. There is something strikingly modern in the sieges this epic describes. A whole city put on a war footing, disciplined and grim, bracing for a long ordeal behind its walls. Dwaraka was built for this. A fortress city on an island, stocked with food and weapons, garrisoned by famous warriors. Nature had already made it hard to take. Now men set out to make it impossible. Every corner was manned, every wall watched. Ugrasena banned drink and every amusement for the length of the siege. This was no time for pleasure. The city drew in on itself, sober and focused, and settled into the hard patience that a siege demands. Discipline became the whole law of Dwaraka. The bridges to the mainland were torn down. Ships were forbidden the ports. Iron spikes were sunk into the moats. The walls were inspected and mended stone by stone. Dwaraka cut itself off from the world to keep the enemy out, secure and utterly alone. Every gate was guarded, every entrance barred and watched, passwords and permits controlling who might come or go. The fortress became a sealed world unto itself. The people were protected and trapped in the same breath, which is the double face of every siege. The soldier's pay was raised, and every volunteer for the ranks was rigorously tested before he was trusted with a post. Only the strong and the loyal were let near the walls. Dwaraka made itself ready to endure whatever Salva could throw at it, and Salva pressed the siege without mercy. Supplies thinned, and the garrison began to suffer hunger, exhaustion, the slow grinding wear of a city under blockade. But the spirit of the defenders held. They waited and they endured. And they hoped for one thing, that Krishna would come home. He came, and the sight of his suffering city struck him to the heart. Krishna wasted no time on counsels. He attacked Salva at once, broke his army, and drove the siege from Dwaraka's walls. The blockade shattered. The city breathed again, and its lord had come home in time. And only then, with his own city saved, did Krishna learn the rest. The loaded dice at Hastinapura, the humiliation, the exile of the Pandavas. The news landed on him like a blow. He did not sit with it. He turned at once for the forest to find his friends in their disgrace. He did not go alone. With him rode men of the Bhoja and Vrishni clans, Dhrishtadyumna, the king of Chedi, the Kekayas, all of them devoted to the Pandavas, all of them burning with anger at Duryodhana's treachery. Surely, they cried, the earth itself will drink the blood of such wicked men. The Pandavas had lost a kingdom. They had not lost their friends. They reached the forest where the exiles lived, and the meeting was heavy with sorrow. To see emperors in barcloth, a queen among ascetics, it stirred the visitors to grief and rage together. But of all the wounded there, one came forward, carrying a hurt deeper than the loss of any kingdom. Draupadi came to Krishna, and her voice drowned in tears as she told him her wrong. I was dragged into that hall in a single garment, she said. The sons of Dhritarashtra insulted me, gloated over my agony, handled me as their slave. Bhishma and the king forgot my birth and my kinship to them and said nothing. And Janardana, even my husbands, did not protect me. She wept. Bhima's strength, Arjuna's Gandiva, all of it useless in that hall. Under such provocation, even a weakling would have found the fire to strike the insulter dead. Yet the Pandavas are heroes, and Duryodhan still lives. I, daughter-in-law of an emperor, was dragged by my hair. I, wife of 5 heroes, was shamed. And even you, Madhusudana, even you were not there. She stood trembling, past all speech, convulsed with grief. Krishna was moved to his depths, and he gathered her grief and answered it. Those who tormented you, he said, will lie stricken in the bloody mire of a lost battle. Wipe your eyes. Her tears he did not dismiss. He gave them a future. What she had suffered would not be endured. It would be answered. Then Krishna took a vow before her, and it shook the air. I promise you, your wrongs will be avenged to the full. I will help the Pandavas by every means, and you will be an empress again. The heavens may fall, the Himalayas may split, the earth may crumble, the boundless sea may dry, but my word will stand. I swear it. It was no comfort spoken to soothe a weeping woman. It was the Lord binding himself to justice. And this vow, we should see, was the very purpose of his coming into the world, as the scriptures say it, to protect the righteous, to destroy the wicked, and to set the law firmly on its feet. I am born on earth, age after age. Draupadi's cause had become, in that moment, the cause for which God himself had taken a body. Her brother Dhrishtadyumna comforted her too, and named the reckoning plainly, killer by victim. I will kill Drona, he said. Sikhandin will bring down Bhishma. Bhima will take the lives of Duryodhan and all his brothers. Arjuna will slay Karna. Every name that had shamed her was matched to the hand that would answer for it. Slowly, Draupadi's hope rekindled. Krishna gave her his own regret. When this fell on you, I was in Dwaraka fighting Salva, he said. Had I been in Hastinapura, I would have gone to that hall uninvited and stirred Drona and Kripa and the elders to their duty. I would have stopped that game at any cost. It grieves me that I cannot undo your sorrow this very hour. But some water must be lost before a broken dam can be repaired. Then Krishna took his leave and returned to Dwaraka, carrying with him Subhadra, Arjuna's wife, and their little son Abhimanyu, to keep them safe far from the hard years ahead. Dhrishtadyumna led Draupadi's own young sons back to Panchala for the same reason. The forest emptied of visitors, and the Pandavas were left to their exile. But they were not left without a promise. Krishna's vow now hung over the whole story like a fixed star. Whatever the forest years held, the reckoning was certain.